Hey folks, this is Maria Abreu. Welcome to my channel. We invite you to subscribe. And if you like the content of the videos, don't forget to hit like and feel free to share. Hey folks, this is Maria Abreu. Welcome back. I am going to be addressing one of the most interesting. This isn't a question. This is about a two-page long complaint. And I felt so sorry for the person who sent it because well, let me just read a little bit of it to you. It says, having second thoughts about renewal. Well, I just got my pensionado residencia and also invested in real estate, but I'm having second thoughts about even wanting to renew the immigration status. I just got when the time comes. Maybe you could clear some doubts for me. I'm going to have to read this because I got to address his doubts. Number one, they nickel and dime me in the ballpark of $1,500 for the resident status I got. From the visa application to the translation and apostilles, which Dominican consulate made almost impossible not to do with them so they could charge more. They give you 60 days when you enter with the visa to process your residency application, but they delay in order to charge more and tell you you must be present in the country while the process is done. Not true. Uh, this is him saying not true in parentheses. Others tell you you can leave and that if you want to leave, you must apply for a reentry permit that you don't need. More fees in parentheses. And when it's finally time, after waiting a month on nothing because when I called the worker handling my case was on disability leave and then my photographs went missing, you have to pay hundreds more for the expired visa, the overstay, etc. Medical tests. Then you get 1 year residencia, which you must renew at the price of 16,500 pesos, about $300, while simply overstaying a full year costs anybody about $100 at departure. And then you also have to obtain a cedula, which will set you back another 10,000 pesos or 180. And it is only good for 2 years. Okay? Sweetie, I feel your pain. Okay? What you wrote is exactly right. And I'm not laughing at your pain. It's just that, you see, I'm glad that you actually posted this information because this is the reality that we deal with as attorneys on a daily basis. You see, and it's not because the DR is any worse than any other country. Guys, listen, immigration is a messy process regardless of the country that you apply, you know, you apply to for residency. Regardless. It's a government agency, which, worldwide we know that government agencies are not the most efficient, irrespective of the country where, you're applying to get residency from. And then, the sheer volume of, applications, thousands, upon thousands. Listen, you're not going to go any country where the residency process works like clockwork. I got to tell you that from the get. You're not going to see it. There will always be setbacks. There's always going to be a measure of disorganization. You're always going to have bumps in the road. The important thing is that you got your residency. The important thing is that the process was completed. And since you retired and since you invested in the country, it is the smart thing to do. Now, you made reference to the fact that you could just pay an overstay fee. Yeah, but until when? It's like I've said before, until when? One fine day, the state decides to apply the law as it is written, as they tend to do every so often, and they're going to realize that people are abusing the overstay. It's not an incentive, the overstay penalty. They're going to substitute residency for just paying an overstay. And they're going to clamp that down. And then what will you do when they don't allow you back in the country one fine day? I'm not saying it's happening. I've said it has happened, and I'm saying you never know when it will happen or if it will happen. But who wants to live like that? I mean, you're not a tourist. You bought a house in the country. You have an investment. Surely you have bank accounts. So at that point, having status and securing your ability to stay in a country is important. All right. But what you describe here is the reason why people hire an attorney. You see, because and I wanted to talk about this so that people can realize what actually happens. He's 100% right. Okay. The thing is that those people who hire an attorney don't go through this. That's what we're paid to put up with and deal with and navigate through. Okay. Clients will just sit there and be like, what's taking so long? Why is it taking so long? Why is it not here? It's like the biggest aggravation that a person who is legally represented puts up with is the time frame, the waiting. But to all of you who are tired of waiting, imagine having to deal with this. With all that he described, and we're still not finished, by the way. He's got two other comments or questions he wants answers to. So, for those of you who have attorneys, now you know what they go through. Now you know what we all go through. All right. Now, number two, you could apply for citizenship after 6 months of having this pensionado status in order to escape this bureaucratic nightmare, but the info about the process and fees is very scarce and murky. I imagine it will be another shakedown with multiple delays. I'm concerned. Any guidance, Maria? Listen, in answer to your question, the fee, what you will pay, will depend in large measure of who represents you. Okay? Because different attorneys have different fees. And where naturalization is concerned, they don't even give you a time frame. You're looking at 8 to 10 months of this process. Okay? But here again, you got to keep your eye on the ball. I mean, I know that you're annoyed and I know that you've just been through it and but you got your status. The end justified the means in this case. You went through it, but you got your status. You got that residency card that says investment department, permanent residency, and all of the privileges that it brings with it. So don't get mad at what I'm about to say, sweetie, but no pain, no gain. You got your residency. If it's a headache, naturalization, of course it's a headache. You're dealing with the state that is overworked and underpaid, and that is the case in any country, my dear. So you have to arm yourself with a little bit of patience and meet the end goal. Just keep your eye on the end goal. And you make a valid point, by the way. You answered your own question. You might go through some headaches trying to get the naturalization completed, but at the end of it, you're Dominican. You never have to worry about renewals again. You'll only have to worry every 6 years about a simple process of renewing your cedula, which takes no more than 15 minutes for a Dominican, okay? So, chin up. You did good. You did good. You're focusing on the pain and you're not focusing on the result. You're resident sweets. And that's the whole idea. All right? Let's get down to the third comment or question. Since I'm already fully invested in this now, I'm wondering if I applied for citizenship in order to avoid the hassle of inefficient bureaucratic renewal processes, paper filing, more apostilles, translations, etc., and the high renewal fees for very short lived, briefly valid immigration documents, would I then, once officially Dominican and living in the country, start getting my military pension taxed locally, which they already have all info and documentation on, since I had to hand it over in order to get my retiree resident card, or else risk losing my real estate investment to the government if I refuse to have my income taxed by the government of the Dominican Republic. Can you shed light on these concerns, please? Whoa, they're not going to tax pension suites. They do not tax pension in this country as a rule. So whether you're a resident or you are, a naturalized Dominican, you're never going to have to worry about that, okay? They do not tax pensions in this country. They don't. So you will be fine. But here again, let's not focus on the pains. Let's focus on the end game. When you are a citizen, you have all of the privileges of a citizen. You never have to worry about renewals and about documents and about going through all that headache, which is what most of my clients are after, besides having a plan B. So, keep in mind that, you're almost out. So you go through one more, painful process. And I'm not going to say it's not, because it is. Any process where you're dealing with governments, it's always, it's something of a headache. It's challenging. But you're halfway there. You already got your permanent residency, so go for the citizenship. It'll be the last time you'll ever have to worry about getting documents, apostilles, and all that other good stuff. Okay? And your pension will not be taxed. And I have another little nugget of information for you. Uh, Property taxes in the country don't apply to Dominican citizens that are over 65. So if you happen to be, 65 or over, you don't have to worry about property taxes if you pass from being a permanent resident through the investment department to a citizen. Okay? So chin up. It's not so glum. But, believe me, this is our daily bread. So what you have described, it's exactly right. Okay? And for those of you out there looking to get residency, far from being discouraged, let this be a let this enlighten you as to the fact that having an attorney is always better than roughing it on your own. Let this be a cautionary tale, of what you will go through if you try to do it on your own. All right? But listen, I want to thank you for posting such an honest comment. We really appreciate it. As you know, in this channel, we encourage honesty. We're not looking to sell Dominican Republic. We're looking to be informative. And sometimes, the information is positive and good, and sometimes it talks about the reality behind things, so such as the residency process. So I want to thank you. And guys, feel free, always in a respectful manner, to express exactly how you feel, whether it's positive or whether it's a complaint. We'll be happy to address all of it. God bless, and we'll see you next time.